7:14 on a Friday at mic number 2. One half of the Z team.
That's right. That's right. The smart half, the smart and the good-looking half.
She's monitoring the radio.
Is right. Is listening. My pocket will be going off momentarily here. And she does. I mean, she does such a good job, and we have been slammed, busy. Thank you all. And as part of that, and is the market has changes, and it's the constant state of flux. Changes that come up where you think you're going to close. We've got stuff that was supposed to close 3 weeks ago. That there's a little burp, and then you go back to the back of the line. And a big part of our job is then, I'll call it hand-holding for lack of something else, to just let people know it's going to be okay. We're going forward. They're like, well, I'm planning on doing this, and I'm planning on doing that. And it's just, they're all dominoes. Every real estate deal is a domino because something else is going to happen as a result of that sale on both sides. So it's becoming actually all too common to get a call from the closing company who got a call from the financial arm of the deal saying that, well, no, we're not going to close today. We're not going to close tomorrow. We're not going to close until September 3rd, and to back it up 2 weeks. And to do that is unfortunately becoming more and more prevalent. Mm-hmm. And as more of the financial bill that went through, that's going to change things as well. There's new disclosures on there, and there's time windows that people have to be notified so many days ahead. And we've been to a couple classes on this now, and there's going to be some substantial changes, and it's going to be harder. It's harder for the person that's selling and has the moving truck set up because there's only a couple moving companies here. And when you've got your day set and you get bumped off of that because it isn't closed, you're not going to close that day after all, you're not going to close for another week and a half, that's very, very stressful, obviously. Yeah. And it's tough because the people then wherever it is that you're going back to see the kids, you're going back to somewhere for health issues or whatever it may be. As I say, they're all dominoes. And the people that are trying to move in, whoever was that was trying to buy their house, they didn't close. There's a burp in their finances. They went out and they bought a new car.
Ain't it?
Well, it is. I mean, it's one thing after another. And that's what happens to people. And that's becoming a bigger and bigger part of what we do, is getting these across the finish line. At the end of the day, that's what my job is. I want to make you homeless, but it's between the different agencies and the banking and the way they've changed, and the pendulum has come so far and so cautious. They went from just giving money to anybody. If you were breathing, if you could fog a mirror, as they say, mm-hmm. they would give you a loan. Well, now you could be sitting there with just about gold bars in your pocket, and they're like, well, we got to check, we got to see, and we want to find out. It's an underwriter who's in New Jersey, he doesn't know anything about Mountain Home. He certainly doesn't know anything about flipping or
Cotter or
Norfolk. Exactly.
Those nice little towns people, we have.
Oh, it's 20 acres. Oh my God. Well, we can't do that. You're going to have to get this product instead. And that's what we run into. So as we've been taking offers on our listings, we've been making the agent, if it's not us, if it is us, then we go to the financing company that the people have got and whoever it is they're trying to deal with and ask them, can you do this type of loan that you say you're going to get, an RD loan or a VA loan, whatever it may be? Are you going to be able to perform on that loan for this property?
Right.
And make sure that they can. We got one with a swimming pool, and somebody said, I don't know if this type of product will work with a swimming pool on it. So we call. Let's find out before we get started here and take the house off the market and people start to get packed up and things. So the finances have become a bigger part of our job. I was never real big on getting into people's money. That was always between you and the bank. As long as the bank tells me, yes, this is how much they can this is where they should be looking at.
Their loan. Yeah.
They can afford to buy this house. That's really, I don't care about your money. That's up to you. That's
what's in the bank, what's in the stocks and bonds, and
more part of what we do because we need to know, because you want to protect the buyer as well. You don't want them getting started down the path to have something blow up, and then they're frustrated. And then it's the realtor's fault. It's this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. If you can kind of cut that off before that happens, that's much better. It's a better way to do business. So we're going to, it's just part of the deal.
So you look at all aspects before all the paperwork's completed. If you've got 40 pages to complete and you're on page 23 and hey, wait a minute, the swimming pool, we can't do blah, blah, blah.
Right. And the big thing is, the local banks make this much easier. Mm-hmm. They're not God. They're not, infallible. But it's much easier to deal with a Gwen Tish or whoever it may be sitting across the table from you than some guy, a voice on a telephone that you're on a phone tree coming out of God only knows where.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, good people, but not quite the same. So when I preach local banks, it really does make a difference. And you get a better answer from them if there is a burp in there, a little speed bump. I'm going to get an answer that I know is going to be right and not just, we've got one, it was supposed to close today again, that's now going to close on Monday, we think, because the people that are doing the financing, they're not here, and they just don't care. If something didn't get in the file.
I put that file on Joe's desk on Monday.
Yeah. And we didn't get that half a page of something of whatever it is that is really just nothing in the whole grand scheme of things when you see some of the stuff that they look for. So it can be a little frustrating on that.
I can just imagine.
Linda sent me a piece yesterday, and you'll like this. This is from the Illinois Policy Organization. Illinois homeowners now pay the second highest property tax in the United States.
Who's number one, New York or California?
I think it was New Jersey. New Jersey was number one. But Arkansas, number 42. Number 42. So we complain about some of the things that, this is expensive or that's expensive. It costs money to run the government.
Sure,
it costs to put these policemen out there to fire the schools.
Dr. Long sitting right here.
The quality of life that we have here, there is a cost for that. We cut down on a lot of things. They're redoing my road out there. They're putting new culverts in on 7031. It's like two guys in a backhoe with a bulldozer, and it's great. If this was in Illinois, there'd be 4 miles of barrels and flags and flares going off
from
and
now
everything
till 2020,
else.
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's like
I-55
and 40 in West Memphis.
Yeah. When you look at the money and how it's spent, I think that we're much more tighter.
Yeah.
Here, the belt tightening here has shown its effects. But for us to be that low, sales tax is going to be sales tax. You're going to buy, that's kind of the equalizer all the way across. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you're going to buy something, you're going to pay the tax on it. And that's kind of the flat tax type thing.
Sure.
Where you're going to pay, or a consumer's tax. That's where that equals everybody out. Everybody pays sales tax. But I thought it was so interesting. Illinois, and all these northern states, all these what would be quote unquote blue states, when you see the numbers, Wisconsin's number 5, Minnesota's 19. Texas is number 6, actually.
They're high.
High. That's a high property tax. And California's 34. So it's kind of an interesting
That's surprising.
Places that you would have thought. But
I would figure New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Ohio, and California would be the top.
And when you talk to people and you tell them they're looking at a house and you're going back and forth, and they ask, this one of the questions that always comes up is how much are the taxes there? And then you give them the number and they'll say a month. Well, because if you're coming from a state like that where you're paying over 2.25% on everything as a property tax, that's a big difference. And you say, oh no, that's a year. And you don't get the bill until February, and it's not due until October. And I go, oh, they think that you're, just trying to sell them stuff, but you're not. I mean, that's the way it is. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting something to keep in mind when you're looking at places, and if you're thinking of leaving, saying, "Oh, we're going back to Texas," stuff to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Is to look at what the property taxes are, because those are going to be part of your cost. I mean, that's all part of your, part of living the dream wherever the dream may be. This week in real estate. Let's see if I can get this to come up now.
Now, drum roll, please.
There we go.
The big question, did they break the 3 million mark this week?
We did, actually.
All right. Last week was 2.7.
Yep. It was a good week this week. There were 46 new listings came on, which is down a little bit, 7 parcels of land, 4 commercial properties. 35 homes came on the market, and they came on a range of $47,000 to $520,000. Average price coming on the market this week is $169,000. There were 28 sales. 1 parcel of land sold, 27 homes sold this week, which is up quite a bit. The homes that sold in a range of $20,000 to $389,000. Average sale price of $127,000, which is really that's the sweetest spot is right there. Mm-hmm. The average listed price when it came on the market was $136,000. 161 days on market, so things are moving. $345 million in closed residential real estate this week.
How much?
3.45.
Wow, that's up. So you're 2.7 last. That's
good. So that's a nice jump. 32 properties expired. 49 hit price changes. There's still 70 pending, and actually there's more than that pending because a lot of them now they're not hitting the pending side, and they're being kept as ACC, active contingent, and they're contingent. Excuse me. They're contingent upon either inspections, financing, whatever the case may be. So they're still being shown. People are taking backup offers on them. But the pending number, those are getting ready to close. We're down to 997 homes on the MLS. We're down under 1,000 in August. So a couple things have happened. Our sales are up, so we're taking some of that out. We've been at about 3 years of market. Some of these homes are coming off and staying off because they're looking at the property taxes in states like Illinois, Texas, whatever it may be, and saying, maybe we don't want to go. And I have no trouble. I sit across the table from people all the time, and first thing I ask them is, what's plan B? What are you going to do if I bring you a buyer here tomorrow? What are you going to do? Well, we're thinking about going to, no, you need to go there and see and feel what, when you think you're going back to the old neighborhood, it's never the same as it was when you left it.
Yeah.
And you need to go there, and you need to see what the market is. How much is it going to cost you to buy a new house there? That's part of me asking you what plan B is, so that you're prepared for that. So, and I have no trouble telling people, look, this is Mountain Home. It's not Detroit.
Thank goodness.
You can stay here. There's worse places to be than to be in Mountain Home. That's the punishment is, you got to stay in Mountain Home. Oh, really? Oh, my God. Oh, the horror. I mean,
the other morning.
And I think that's part of it, though. Guys that want to fish and the wives, they're in their craft clubs and they volunteer at the hospital or the school or whatever it may be. They've got a new life here. They want to see the grandkids, but this is their life now, and that's could be a big jump.
The other morning, I think it was Tuesday morning, couldn't find my keys. I left the windows down, left the keys in the switch.
Don't do that.
You can't do that in Detroit.
Don't do it here either. Don't volunteer to be a victim.
Yeah, I just forgot. I mean,
For 2014, a year to date, there were 540 sales for $63.5 million. For 2015, there's been 571 sales for $69.7.
You're up $7 million.
Yeah. So we're up 4.
4.
So we're in pretty good shape. We're at 63.5, and now we're at 69.7.
Yeah.
So we're in pretty good shape. And that's the one from last year there was a big sale that popped in there, so that's why it's close, because we've been running about $5 million over.
About 40 seconds to promote.
40 seconds to run. Give us a call. Give my honey a call. She does such a good job.
Yes, she does.
She does, the pictures and the marketing and the promotional stuff and getting the paperwork together. You have no idea of the amount of stuff that goes into getting a home listed, getting a home sold, getting it across, getting it not just under contract, but getting it sold. But give her a call, 870-405-0793. Drop us an email. Go on the website, retiredtoarkansas.net. There's a bunch of places you can say contact us, and come and contact us, and we'll see what we can do to come and help you out. We're working on trying to come up with some new stuff, and we're here to help you out.
Bob and Linda Zdora of the Z-Team, Century 21 LeMac Real Estate for all your real estate needs, 405-0793. Time for the news. After the news, Dr. Jake Long, Mountain Home Public Schools Superintendent, be with us. Stick around. Be right back.